Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we are going to do a very quick predictions video for Backlash, and this one's probably going to be shorter than my typical predictions video just because I don't really have a lot to talk about. I think some of these matches are kind of random, but we are actually heading to St. Louis tomorrow to go to Backlash on Saturday. So I'm hoping it's a good show, but I won't lie, I do feel like some of these matches are a little random. But let's get into it. So the first match I want to talk about is one that's probably not surprising to anybody that it's on the Backlash card because we already got teased with it a little bit at WrestleMania, the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, and that's Lyra versus Becky. And to be honest with you, I think that this has been the most excited that I have been for Lyra during her entire title run. I for sure loved the promo that she cut on this past week's Raw. It was fantastic, and honestly, I want to see this Lyra more. I knew she could be this Lyra because we've all seen it on NXT. We saw it when she first came to the main roster. It's just for some reason when she won the title, like everything just kind of like went dead, and they didn't give her a lot of creative aspect, I feel like. So I am hopeful that Lyra will win this, honestly. Because I want to see more of this Lyra, this kind of like fire ignited Lyra that wants to prove that she can do it, that she didn't need anybody's help, that she didn't need, Becky's assistance to get where she is. However, I do feel like Becky may win here, and the reason why I say that is because this past week's Monday Night Raw, Lyra pretty much beat the brakes off of Becky, and stood over her with the title. And typically when that happens, the person that has the title on that episode loses at the PLE. And so I really feel like Becky may get this title. She hasn't held it, obviously, because it's new, and Becky is one of the OG vets. So I kind of feel like WWE will go in that direction, but I'm hoping that Lyra can be victorious over her one-time mentor, and prove that she really deserves this spotlight. And then we have Dominic Mysterio versus Penta, and I hope that Dominic wins this. I do not want him to lose that title just yet. I want him to retain his title. I love what Penta's been doing. I love that he is a part of the WWE now, and the matches that he's been performing have been great. But I think that his direction is going to be a tag team with Rey Fenix. And so I hope that Dirty Dom retains his title here. I would not put it past Finn Balor to pop up and do some sketchy stuff because we saw on Monday Night Raw that he was wearing the little Dirty Dom shirt and playing it cool like he's a team player, but I don't buy it. I still think there's a grudge there. I saw him in the back talking to Roxanne, and I think Finn has a bigger picture, and I said this whole time that with Liv being gone, to film her movie, there's something that's going to go on there, and I think this is Finn's time to really kind of snake his way in and break up the Judgment Day, and try to get that title from Dom. So I feel like Dom is going to be victorious here, but I do expect his next opponent to be Finn Balor, and I think that feud is going to absolutely cook. And I'm not so sure that Mr. Dom's going to come out of that one because if you remember early on in the year, there was some rumblings that Finn was going to get a singles push, so this might be it. But I think Dom definitely deserves the title that he has, and I'm ready to see what he can do with it. Then we have Pat McAfee and Gunther, which honestly, you guys, is super, super random. I don't hate it, though, because I feel like after Gunther lost on the big stage of WrestleMania, he kind of didn't have any other opponents like lined up. So I feel like this is like the best match for him at this possible time because he just didn't have any other storylines besides Jay. Which is fine because obviously WrestleMania is the peak. That's where you want all of your storylines to be at. So I'm not surprised with the quick turnaround that we have this kind of random match with Pat and Gunther. I will say, I don't care what you say or what you think about Pat, the man can cut a promo. His promos have been absolutely fire this entire feud. And I'm honestly excited to see what happens in this match because there is a bigger story here. Like, this is not about Pat McAfee versus Gunther. There is something working behind the scenes that we don't know. I have a feeling it's probably setting us up for Goldberg's return because we know that they already had a face-off. We know that Goldberg wants Gunther to be his last opponent for his last match. So I feel like somehow he's going to play a role in this. But this match definitely has a bigger purpose. Whether it be Goldberg or another opponent, I feel like this match is setting Gunther up for his next opponent. And I've honestly said all along, and this might be a hot take, you guys, but I've honestly said all along that I feel like it would be really good for Gunther's character if he loses this match to Pat on some kind of like technicality or some kind of like mishap or something like that. You know how like they get fooled in the ring and get a quick 1, 2, 3 or something like that. I feel like if that happened to Gunther, we could see a huge crash out from him and get a Gunther that will literally destroy anything and everyone in his path. And that would be very interesting because regardless of everything that's happened, I do like Gunther. He's good in the ring. He is, improving on the mic every single time he cuts a promo. And I think he is a star, and I think he has a lot of potential. Obviously, I wanted Jay to win, and so I was on Jay's side during that whole feud. But I am excited for a bright future for Gunther. And I honestly think if he lost his title to Jay, and then if he loses a match to Pat McAfee via some kind of like DQ or anything of that nature, I feel like he could really go full force into that like crash out, like here for vengeance mode. And I think that would be really good for his character. But I'll also be honest with you, I don't know if WWE would pull the trigger on that because that would also make Gunther look a little weak, which he's not. We all know he isn't. We all know he's a very strong star. So I am going to have to go with my brain here and say that Gunther will win this match, but it will definitely set up his next opponent, whoever that might be. Then, of course, we have Jacob Fatu, LA Knight, Damian Priest, and Drew McIntyre. And I expect this to be a very good match. It might be the best match of the night, honestly. But I don't expect Jacob Fatu to drop his belt. I think that he's going to have quite a couple months at least as a title holder because he is such a star and he's impressed so much. I am a huge Jacob fan. I think that he has the skills, the ability, the promo cutting skills, everything that he needs to make him a superstar. And so I definitely think he retains this title here. But I think that this match is going to be great. We have heavy hitters in Damian and Drew, heavy hitters in Jacob Fatu, and then we have LA Knight, who just lost the title and wants it back and is looking for revenge. So this match is definitely going to be excellent. It's going to be probably, again, the best match of the night, but I don't see any surprises here. Jacob Fatu is definitely returning as champ after Saturday night. And, of course, we have John Cena versus Randy Orton, and I love this match. I do. I love this match. I love that Randy is getting a title match in his hometown. However, having Randy lose a title match in his hometown is a little shady on the WWE's part because I do not think John Cena is going to lose this match at all. There is no way. We just went through that whole WrestleMania moment with Cody losing for John to literally lose the next month. He's going to have the title at least until SummerSlam. And so I feel like Randy Orton is going to lose this match. He is not going to walk out with the title. And honestly, that kind of sucks because he's back in his hometown, but I am sure he's happy just to be back in the hometown and have a title shot. And I don't think this will be the end, even though they say like this is the final ride or whatever, this is the final time. I don't think this is going to be the final time. I think Randy's going to play a picture down the road a little bit, and I personally think that he might be somewhat involved in John's big SummerSlam match, because we know that John's going to definitely get a big SummerSlam match. I think I covered everybody. Let me make sure, because it's a very random card, like I said. There's some random matches on here, but I think overall, honestly, I think it's going to be good. They didn't have a whole lot of time to... Yeah, I did. I got everybody. We're good. They didn't have a whole lot of time to create storylines, so I feel like they're trying to do the best that they can. Which brings me back to the factor that I think we need a little more time in between PLEs, especially after WrestleMania. Because if you think about it, you guys, we just had WrestleMania, now we have Backlash, in 2 weeks we literally have Saturday Night Main Event, and then like 2 or 3 weeks after that is Money in the Bank, and so there's not a lot of time in between these to really build storylines up. So I think we need to focus our attention more on, lengthening them a little bit, like one a month would be good. That way it gives us time to build the storylines that we need to keep us all entertained, because that's basically all we want to do is be entertained. But I am excited to take you guys on my adventure to Backlash. I will definitely vlog the whole thing so that I can post it on my YouTube channel next week, and hopefully we'll be talking about a good show next week. But until then, subscribe and like my channel, comment on my videos, and follow me on our socials.